Hey everybody, this is Odie Trey, and we're back with another Dauntless video. And in today's Dauntless video, I wanted to talk about some updates that are coming to Dauntless with the new Slayer's Path system and the way that we progress our characters. Now, there was an awesome Redditor that made a post compiling what we know about the new progression system. His name's Oren, and I'm going to just say thanks to him for making this list, and also thanks to this list the devs have responded quite heavily inside of this post and answering a bunch of the players' questions. So let's go ahead and look at some of the main things that are changing with the new system. Okay, so I highlighted some stuff that the devs have been saying. I'm not going to be talking so much about the new hunting ground. I'm going to be spending more time just talking about how we're progressing our characters and some important information that you'll need to know. All right, so for one, patrol chests. This is a pretty big one to me. Your patrol chests that, as you can see up here in the top left, I have 113 of. Those are going to be converted into a new system called patrol keys. They will be really important for getting resources from our new system. These resources will be used to upgrade our gear. So make sure you're using your 2 patrol chests per day, but any ones that you have beyond that, ones that you've saved up from like the Twitch promotions and whatnot, probably want to save those. The next one is that all maxed out weapons at plus 15 will be maxed out in the new system. They will be the power surged variants. So we don't know a ton about this power surging. We just know that a power surged weapon is equal to a plus 15 weapon. All right. Then we know that they are nerfing the lantern capacitor. They are going to completely remove this bonus here, and some of this power will be redistributed into our new Slayer's Path system. All right. So let's go over some of the things that the devs have said that I thought were really interesting. They said, we're going to give 5 full Aether Hearts to anyone who has beat the quest campaign, which means 1 weapon and 1 full armor set at max power level. So as long as you've beat the quest campaign, even if you don't have plus 15 gear, you will be able to have a full set of 15 gear. That means that you can go look up whatever the best current set is in the new system, and then you'll be able to buff that straight up to 15, including its weapon, and you'll be at the same power level, mostly the same power level as some other endgame players. So yeah, I thought that was pretty cool. And he also said, we're also talking about giving a few bonus hearts. 1 Aether Heart equals 1 power surged weapon or armor. So every time you want to power surge something, it requires 1 Aether Heart. And they say you'll get an Aether Heart every time you reforge a weapon class. Now, I don't know much about the reforging system. I haven't heard a whole lot about it, but it is something that we will be doing as part of our progression. Reforging weapons classes is going to be important to the new system. They're still like fine-tuning how long it takes to reforge a class or a weapon class. And to reforge it, you will need to spend 100 Aether Sparks. My understanding is that Aether Sparks is not the final name of it. So if the patch comes and it's not called Aether Sparks, don't worry. It's just that is the current name that they're using for it. So you'll need 100 Aether Sparks in order to reforge a weapon class, which will give you 1 Aether Heart. Then that Aether Heart can be used to reforge or to buff any weapon into its power surged weapon class or armor, into a power surged version of it. The main way that we'll be getting Aether Sparks, so far, they haven't finalized it, is through Hunt Pass, island events, and finding patrol chests and using your new patrol keys to open them. So Aether Sparks will be a limited material that you are farming. Now, this is important to us as it means that those patrol chests that we currently have being converted to keys for us is going to make it easier for us to farm up our Aether Sparks. And when it comes to rewarding players who already have like their let's go check out my all the weapons and stuff that I've leveled. So when we look at this, they said that I didn't realize that was level 11. I'm gonna have to get that to 15 just to have it, even though I don't care about it. Excuse me. So that says we're definitely going to err on the side of generosity when it comes to giving people, like, refunding people for their time invested. They do have a fear of not wanting to be overly generous as to kind of slight the people who have worked really hard to get plus 15 in all their weapons, and then a bunch of people who hadn't quite put in the same amount of effort are then going to be granted a bunch of extra resources that, negates some of the hardcore player's time. So they're trying to find a good balance there, but just know that their goal is to err on the side of generosity. The other part that I found interesting was that they assigning tiers to all gear in the new system. So some gear may get less powerful at its base crafting level until you power surge it. So in our current system, this is actually closer to our old system from way back in the day. Well, it sounds like they're going to be going back to that almost progression system where those early sets feel they're not as strong, so upgrading, like when you go fight new behemoths and you get their gear, you feel that power gain right away when you build their new sets, which is good. That gives a better sense of progression than the current system does, because in the current system you're like, well, I already have plus 6 all Nashor's gear, why do I want to build Shrikes, right? Well, what if Shrikes has just a higher base stats? Then that might be, appealing to you. So we'll see what they do with gear overall. I don't know how many different things they're going to try to add to gear, but for now it does seem like we're going to be getting different tiers of gear. And so if I had to suggest something right now, I would suggest that you max out some of your weaker sets. If you don't have all your armor maxed, find the most important parts in each set and max them out. So let me just give you an idea. Nashor gloves, you should get those to plus 15. Nothing Shrike or Quillshot. Charog boots, plus 15. Hellion gloves, chest and helmet, plus 15. Boreas chest, gloves, and boots, plus 15. Carabac boots, maybe. If you have extra resources, hit the Carabac boots. They're sometimes useful. The Koshai, now Koshai is probably going to be pretty strong, but Koshai chest and gloves and boots, all three of these have potential, but I believe it's the boots and the gloves that are the most significant. Scar nothing. Drask, maybe the helmet, maybe the chest. I'm gonna err on the side of no. Nothing for Riftstalker. And Shroud and Rezakiri, we already know that these are going to be probably considered high tier behemoths, so their strength will just be innate, pretty strong. And I'll let you decide the rest. But I just called out some of the lower tier sets and the pieces you would want from those sets because they do show up in some finalized endgame builds. So they won't be compensating raw materials. So all of the arc stones and orbs that you've generated, I'm sorry, I can't show them to you because I don't have any. Like you can't see them there. There's some dull arc stones. All of these will be ignored in the new system. However, my understanding is there's two parts here. They aren't removing them from your inventory. So it's always possible that they revive that currency later for some other purpose. But that's too far off. So they're not committing to anything with that, but just know you're not losing these resources. They're just losing their current value in functionality, right? They're just not going to do anything special in functionality anymore. So for the time being. So don't worry, it doesn't sound like we're losing any of our resources. We are just not going to really be able to do anything with them. And the other note here is that they aren't changing brake parts, so we keep all of the brake parts that we have. So don't worry about your brake parts. They're all good, and they will continue to be used. But your elemental orbs and arc stones, those are being removed. So yeah, I think that covers a lot of the big information that we found about our progression. We know that some of this base power that is in our character is going to be shifted away from this lantern and into our new Slayer's Path. I believe the same thing is happening for our some of our mastery. Like let's go look at mastery. I haven't looked over here in a while. Rewards. So I'm guessing that some of these rewards, like that max health, max stamina, these things might actually be just removed from here, and we will instead gain them in our Slayer's Path. See, like bonus fire resistance, max number of tonics. I don't know how much they're removing from here. I just know that their intention is to remove like some player strength from here and apply it to our Slayer's Path, and if we already have it in here, then we would have it in the Slayer's Path. So we don't have to worry about losing progression. But yeah, that's the information we have. I feel like that it's going to be a little scary at the beginning for people when they feel like they're losing something, but I think in the long run, this is going to be they're rebuilding the system to give us, one, more longevity, two, more obvious power gains, and a better sense of progression than what we currently have. Because the sense of progression you feel, like, let me see if I have a build. I don't think I have one right now, but like your early level progression doesn't feel that significant because you can just, let me go find here we go. Let's go find this. I'm going to choose the Hellion Blades as my weapon. I'm going to choose just a full Hellion set, right? This is pretty much the way that you leveled a long time ago. You would just grab anything Hellion related because Hellion just had great set bonuses, and then you'd put on like a pair of boots, whatever pair of boots you wanted. Let's say that you went with, we changed this Hellion chest out. There you go. This is a solid newbie build that a newbie would have access to pretty early on. Look at that. They have Iceborne, which is, a newbie favorite. Molten, which helps protect you from burning status, which gets those newbies. Overpower, Rage, and Rage Hunter. Now, this is just built in without any cells. And this is going to carry somebody from when they first fight Hellion and Boreas, which is really early in the progression system, all the way to endgame. There's nothing about like here. Let's see how far that this build itself could carry you. Right. So now we're at 6 overpower, 6 Iceborne. We grabbed our +3 discipline. I know that discipline's like a little bit outside of the newbie area. However, it is something that you would use as a progression point. Well, grab a berserker. maybe a Wild Frenzy, and then switch this into a Rage, right? Now we have a wasted Rage Hunter here, but like it's like obviously it's not a perfect build. The point of this is just showing its potential, and its potential is extremely high. With it's a low life build, Iceborne, Overpower, Rage. That you're hitting the three main mechanics of these low life builds. And then you have increased attack speed. You've got the Molten to protect you. You didn't even have to work for that Molten. You know what we could do? You can switch this glove out for a different low thing, Nasher's gloves. Boom. There. I've fixed the build more. This build is a fantastic idea of what a newbie set would look like. And proving the point that our progression system wasn't great before. Iceborne, Overpower, Rage, Rage Hunter, Berserker, Discipline, Wild Frenzy. That is not far off of a endgame viable build. So yeah, that's just some of the things I wanted to point out. And if you are a new player, or you're unsure where to go, this is a great place to start. Get your Hellion weapon and Hellion chest, Boreas chest, Hellion weapon and head, Boreas chest and boots, and then Nasher gloves, and you are set. So yeah, check it out. Hopefully this new system coming up is pretty awesome. And I forgot to give myself a lantern. We'll just go with the Drask's Eye and go Etheric Attunement. There. I was missing a cell. But yeah, this is an example of why our progression system needed to be revamped. So I have rambled on for more than long enough. I'm going to have to cut this video down significantly. All right. Thanks for watching, guys. If you like this content and you want to see more like it, please remember to like, comment, and subscribe. It really helps me out. I am a new channel, and I love the support. At the same time, I hope you guys have a great day, and I'll see you later.